Well, it's never a bad day here at the shop when there's a Tesla Cybertruck involved. And this dual motor Cybertruck is in for an entire deep clean detail and a protection detail where we're going to be ceramic coating basically everything on this truck. I, over the past 6 or 7 months, have been really dedicated a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of my own money to figure out what actually works on Cybertruck. And I'm very excited for this video because not only are we deep cleaning everything on this, but we're going to be protecting all areas of Cybertruck, from the stainless steel to the windshield to the glass to the plastic trim to the wheels to suspension components, and then lastly jumping inside, getting the interior absolutely dialed in. So this will really be the definitive guide for Tesla Cybertruck for those of you who are not interested in vinyl wrapping or PPFing your stainless steel. So welcome back to another out of spec detailing video here from Clear Detailing in Northern Colorado. Let's jump into it. Now this video I'm very excited for quite a few reasons. Now with Cybertruck, like I said, I've had to really think outside the box and figure out what works and what doesn't work on the stainless steel. This truck is really an interesting one, I would say, because the stainless steel, pretty much everything you use, no matter if it's just a regular stainless steel cleaner, a waterless wash, different glass cleaners, different ceramic coatings, a lot of them just seem to make the finish look weird. So of course, if you haven't watched my channel before, my real solution that I've figured out, and my favorite solution for the stainless steel, is to do, of course, a pH neutral car wash on it, getting everything off, removing things like bugs, and removing iron deposits on the side of the vehicle. We're gonna go through absolutely everything in this. This will be a very long video. So I will leave chapters in here to each segment, but I really am excited to put all of my knowledge that's come in from the past 10 plus years of detailing and the last 6 months of working with Cybertruck and putting it in one video, so that every area on Cybertruck, you not only know how to clean it, but how to protect it. So stainless steel, of course, is gonna be one of the biggest things we're working with, doing the barkeeper's friend Windex and DIY details metal coating on it. We're then gonna work on the glass, which has a ton of water spots on it, where we're gonna go in, remove heavy embedded deep water spots, and then ceramic coat the glass at the end. All of the plastic trim that runs the entire bottom length of the Tesla Cybertruck, and of course, tonneau cover, we're gonna get that all cleaned up and all ceramic coated with a UV trim coating on there. We're also going to talk about wheels and tires and suspension components. I'm going to be removing the wheels on here, cleaning everything up, ceramic coating everything in the suspension on the wheels, and really help you guys keep your Cybertruck clean. Lastly, like I said, we're going to jump inside as well. This Cybertruck has about 8,000 miles or so. It lives outside 24/7. Lots of silty, dirty dust that's just covered everywhere on the inside, everywhere on the outside. This thing is truly beat, but it's also well loved and well used, so we want to protect and maintain it. So before we get started with this, what I want to do is walk you guys around the truck, talk about things that I'm seeing on here, how I may address them, and then get into the real meat and potatoes, if you will, of cleaning this thing up and starting the whole detail process. So let's run around the truck. So as we can tell here, the front end is a bug magnet, and this thing is truly caked with bugs. So we'll be playing with some other bug removers on here. The biggest thing, of course, we want to do with our initial wash is get the dirt off of the truck, then go into the barkeeper's friend solution, then go into actually ceramic coating it. But I want to give you a good idea of how this truck is coming in, and then at the end you can see what goes into a large detail like this. Now on the hood here, you can just see it does not look great. It's got this warm golden tinge to it, but it's also just extremely dirty. We have water spots absolutely everywhere. Of course, here on the front hood, we have lots of bug splatter. You can even see this ridge here is basically where water has sat there and just kind of piled up with a ton of minerals. Now this truck, my customer called me and said, hey, I'm a huge fan of the channel, but I'm really getting tired of my Cybertruck looking like this. He's taken it through some car washes And I think this being the case of having a rural car wash that is not properly, diluting their chemicals, they may be using acidic or too basic of chemicals. We've got a lot of issues going on here, and water spots are one of the biggest. Look here on the windshield. These are not just easily wipe offable. These are heavy mineral deposits. As you can see, I can literally scrape them off with my fingernail there. It is all over the truck, not only on the windows, but the plastic trim, the running boards, all the areas. Look at this side window here. Heavy water spotting. So I'll spend a good period of time going through this. I mean, it is just harsh on here. So that's one thing on Cybertruck, especially with a large windshield like this, and how much the truck heats up sitting and living outside 24/7. We want to not only clean the water spots off, but put a glass coating on here that's going to help with resistance, not only for driving down the road, having good water beating behavior, but just have some protection in the glass. We'll get all to that. Down the side of the truck here, you can see muddy, dirty, brown tires. The color on this, the tire just looks completely brown, absolutely filthy. All the suspension components in here, as you can see, this has been down dirt roads, it's been off-roaded. One of the big things that I love to do with detailing is cleaning up in the suspension area, cleaning up the wheel arches. Once you get those cleaned, then protecting them with a ceramic coating. I'll be talking about a new product that I've been using on here, which I'm really liking for, suspension components. We'll go through all of this. Just moving down the side of the truck, you can see how many stains are in the stainless steel. It's quite funny. I still think the word stainless steel is hilarious to me because it just stains like absolute craziness. Now, in here, I'm noticing a lot of these marks. These are likely iron deposits that are in here. No, this is not rust. I've talked about this in other videos. What these are basically iron particulates that are out there in the wild, either from rail yards, industrial fallout, whatever it is, and it gets embedded into the stainless steel here. This is still a problem we have on painted vehicles. You'll see little orange rust spots on there, and man, they don't look too good. Down here, you can see all of the water spots, this heavy, nasty, mineralized water deposits that have just sat there. They baked into basically everything on here. The trim also around the truck looks really rough. It just looks gray, it looks dull, just holds a ton of dirt. So getting all of that cleaned up, protected, ceramic coated is going to make a huge difference. Moving back here, some interesting things going on. This customer actually has this kind of rubberized material from Tesla that goes on here, so you can actually use these as steps. The plastic that's normally on here, of course, if you're living in a dirty, dusty environment, you're gonna have dust sitting on there, you get rocks up, and then it's gonna just destroy that area. So he's protected those. I'll be interested to play with this a little bit. But you can just tell generally all around the truck, just filled with dirt and grime. It's looking pretty worse for wear. The whole top up here is just covered in water spots, dirt, grime, filth, absolutely everything. You can see the wheel arches yet again in here, just dirty, grimy, nasty. Now let's jump inside here. And before I do, look at this mirror here. The heavy water spots. I'm not sure if this is the case of the car wash, if it's the case of having well water where this customer lives at. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, having something on there like a ceramic coating is really going to help this for the future. But I've also got some other plans for this customer that I'm talking with him. Now the interior, of course, this thing has really been used as kind of, an off-road adventure vehicle. And as you can see, floor mats looking quite nasty in here. Interior is just dirty, grimy, and just needs a very good deep clean. All of these areas in the hinges, we'll go through how to clean these, how to add a little bit of protection because there's not many rubber seals on this. This just gets absolutely caked up with a bunch of dirt and grime anytime you take this thing off-road. Jumping back here, pretty much the same story. Everything is just dirty. Everything is dusty. Look at around the screen here, just filled with dirt and dust. So this will be a very cool project to really show you what some in-depth cleaning can actually do for Cybertruck. As I close the window there, you can see just the dust just flying out of every orifice of this truck. But very excited for this one. So the first steps of this, we of course need to start washing it. But what I'm gonna actually do is really focus on the interior first. So I'm gonna get all the big debris by vacuuming it, pull the floor mats out, probably use something like a tornado, go through, basically blow out all the dust inside, and then really get into cleaning the interior. So I'm gonna start on the interior first, do my initial big kind of deep clean on that. Not get everything perfect because we're gonna have to rinse out the door jambs. I'm gonna be in and out of the truck for the next couple of days here. Then we'll actually start our hand wash on this, getting all of the bugs off, getting all the dirt off, and then playing around with quite a bit of the water spots and things on the glass. And then we'll get into the barkeeper's friend situation, really restoring this stainless steel back to what it really should like, a bright, shiny silver color that is one cohesive color that looks really even. One thing I want to point out on here is this spot on the Cybertruck. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here, but my customer said it was actually delivered like this. It almost looks like somebody, where he picked this up, tried to kind of clean it, and they used this area first and made it extremely shiny. I'm curious to see if we can make that look a little bit more even and cohesive, because I have heard a few customers complain about that. They maybe used the wrong product and they kind of think they ruined it. Now, Cybertruck can always be fixed. I'm sure you've seen those that are completely mirrored. You can always go back to this. You can always re-sand it. Tesla does a 6-stage sanding on this. I've actually read through the notes on it. I believe they start at like 220 grit and work their way up to mid 600s or so, and that's how they get the finish. The biggest thing you need to understand about Cybertruck stainless steel, it's not like traditional stainless steel. It's not like my cabinets over here that have a grain that go like this. They are all kind of twisted and turned because they use DA sanding on these, and they all look completely different. So very excited for this project. It's gonna be a long one. Again, there will be chapters in here, but let's get rocking and rolling. So let's jump inside here and see progress so far. As you can see, we're literally looking almost brand new. So just spent some time here, what you guys saw on the time lapse. So first, what I like to do is get all the big stuff out of the truck. So I like to vacuum out the mats, just make sure when I pull them out, I'm not just dumping a bunch of rocks and dirt and grime back onto the carpets. So I like to vacuum those, pull them out one at a time, then vacuum the carpets. What you guys next saw me do was use a tool called a tornado. Now this is hooked up to an air hose, and essentially what it is it has a cone on it and it shoots air around in a very tight circle, hence the name, kind of tornado type style like that. And basically it blows dirt out. So it's very helpful in areas like carpets. Instead of trying to vacuum that out or try and clean it and just push the dirt farther into the piles of the carpet, what it does is basically blows it out into the air. Now, it does make it a little dirtier around the entire truck when you do this, so I like to leave all the doors open, and I like to just get the big dust out of here. But the seats and everything are looking absolutely fantastic in here. So what I did afterwards was I used this P&S Express interior cleaner. This has got to be probably one of my favorite interior cleaners out there, I would say. So it's heavily dilutable. You can do it, 1 to 1. You can use it straight. You can do it 1 to 5. So it's not super heavy. But look at this interior. Truck literally looks brand new now. Now, I didn't go super crazy on this. I'm not trying to get it perfect right now. I just want to get the big initial dust, dirt, and grime out. So you will see a few spots like here. I'll go through before this truck actually leaves and finish up just a quick wipe down on this, either with diluted Express Interior Cleaner from P&S or some other chemicals that we'll talk about later. But all of this is looking fantastic. There are a few areas like in here that I may need to get a little bit more aggressive, either with an all-purpose cleaner or a heavier interior cleaner, but I like to just get the big initial one done. Now, this area up here on the Cybertruck has been a tricky area to say the least. It's kind of this fabric cloth that houses all of the speakers in there, everything up front, and it really holds a lot of dirt. So using that Tornado type product really helps out. Now I also go through and I pull out all of the little covers, if you will. So this Cybertruck had some over the cup holders, over the armrest here, down here in this little tunnel. I pull all of those out. I'll clean those later when I'm cleaning up the floor mats, but pretty thrilled with how much better this interior is looking. So next steps, I'm gonna move this Cybertruck out into the detail bay and we're gonna start our big initial wash. Now, the first thing that I wanna do is focus on all of this black plastic trim, all these lower areas, and get those cleaned. What I'm going to be using on this is an orange degreaser, essentially. So I'm going to be using 3D degreaser, and typically when I use this product, I'm going to use it around 1 to 5 or so. 1 to 4 is really heavy strength, but I can tell with how chalky all of this is, it needs a really deep clean. So I'm going to start there on the truck. I'll probably rinse it off, try and get the most amount of dirt off, not worrying about the stainless steel yet. After I get all of that clean, I'm gonna worry about the door jambs. So getting this area all cleaned. I'm gonna use the same product, the orange degreaser here, go in there, spray it down, let it dwell. Now this is kind of a messy part and you have to be, I would say, a little bit of a professional to do this. You can use something like a hose here. I like to use a pressure washer to really get that dirt kind of flooded out of the, door jambs here. The only issue with this is it's going to spray all over the interior. So again, that's why I like to do the interior first. I don't want to make a bunch of mud inside because you will get a few water droplets in here, just kind of the nature of the beast. But I didn't go and try and make the interior perfect. It's going to give us a good starting point here. So let's get the truck pulled out. Let's get these cleaned up, get the door jambs going, and then we'll focus on the stainless steel. quickly explain what's going on here and why I was playing with this side of the hood a little bit more. Now, up here on the front trunk, this area very heavily oxidized. You can of course see all of that iron environmental fallout in here, but you can also somewhat pick up here on camera these deep streaks down this. Now, this truck had a ton of water spots and issues on it. And I actually yesterday spent about 6 hours doing the glass. I didn't film any of it. It was absolutely miserable work. But the whole side of the truck looks somewhat even, I would say, definitely going through it. But up here, this area, for whatever reason, just has quite a bit of streaking, probably from those heavy mineral deposits. So this is the raw naked stainless steel that has just been washed. And over here, I've done my Barkeeper's Friend solution. You can see how much more cohesive and even it looks. Now this area up here, my customer pointed out to me, I almost exactly know what this is. And I think he was one of the very first to get his Tesla Cybertrucks. And I think somebody at the delivery service center tried to do something in an inconspicuous area, tried to quickly like polish that out to see what they could do to it. And that's what was the cause of it. So please be careful what you're using on your Cybertruck. Now, this area over here, I just played with a little bit. You can see tons of watermarks in here. Let me get a little bit closer look. You can see all of that in there, and boom, comes out absolutely flawless. So we're gonna continue here with our Barkeeper's Friend solution. This is again, the soft cleanser version. And what I like to do is get the big initial junk off of it with using a DA polisher. So I have two Rupes cordless polishers over here. I feel this just takes a lot of it off, but then I also like finishing by hand. So as I said in other videos with Cybertruck, you can 100% do this by hand. The machines are not required. What I find is you get a more even, deep sheen to it, and it cuts your working time and saves your arms quite a bit, because doing this by hand over and over all over the entire Cybertruck is an absolute nightmare. So just wanted to play a little bit more over here. Again, you can see such a big difference there. I hope it comes through on camera. The left side, bright and silver. This side, very tea stained, very gold, very orange looking. So gonna keep hammering away here. I'm just gonna throw you guys on a time lapse. If anything else comes up, I'll keep you in the notion. What you guys also saw me do earlier today was clean up the wheels, ceramic coat the wheels, tidy up all the suspension under there. It's looking fantastic. So we're gonna keep hammering along. I wanna get the front area knocked out first. I wanna get the tall areas up here done in entry mode. So that's the lowest mode this will go. I'll put this thing up into extract, work on the lower doors, the lower areas. And my goal tonight, it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I wanna have this done tonight, and then tomorrow come in, ceramic coat stainless steel, ceramic coat all the trim, do the glass, finish everything else up. So let's keep hammering on. I don't care how many times I do this. This is genuinely one of the most satisfying cleaning things out there ever. That bright stainless steel looks absolutely fantastic. So I just wanted to bring you in a little bit closer so you can see some real 50-50 shots. Now, what's interesting again about Cybertruck, as I say literally every single time I work on one, is how different the grain is on them. And these different patterns you start to notice. So of course, below kind of this belt line, I haven't touched anything. And what a massive difference that is. I truly hope that comes through on camera. The amount of these little specks in here, these are a little bit of water spots, some iron deposits in here, and then you come up here and it just looks absolutely fantastic. This one has on this rear kind of quarter panel here some streaks that go all the way down. Now the out of spec Tesla Cybertruck has a similar one, but there's this large band that runs like this down it. And I've seen that on multiple trucks, but I've never seen this finish. It's very interesting and it's not picking up on camera. You can kind of see it in my handprint there a little bit, like in the shadow of there. It's just these deep grooves that run along the side of the truck. But oh my God, I just absolutely love this when it's done right. It just looks so much better. You go from this disgusting nonsense to that. I'm just thrilled with the results. So gonna keep hammering on. Again, I'm working the top section first and then we'll raise the truck up, work on the lower. One thing I do wanna point out, because I know somebody's gonna ask questions, why I didn't tape this rubber up. I don't know what the rubber material is that Tesla uses here on the Cybertruck. Any tape, I've tried probably 10 or 15 different ones. I cannot get tape to stick to this. It literally sticks for about 5 seconds and then pops up. And then it makes even more of a mess. So what I've found is just do it with the barkeepers, try and keep it off there as much as humanly possible, and then clean this after the fact and it'll all be good. But man, oh man, again, I just absolutely love this. I hope that comes through on camera, how different this looks. In person, it is genuinely the biggest difference. It takes it from this old, nasty looking truck that this looks like everybody's refrigerator. There's just smears and streaks and water spots and everything all over it. And then you have this brand new appliance. Also, just real quick, if you're curious what's in that blue dilute bottle, that is Windex with ammonia. Yes, completely safe to use. I've talked to multiple people about this and no issues with it. So gonna keep hammering along here on some time lapses. I can't wait to show you when this is done. So I do owe you guys a little bit of an apology. I did not film as much as I would have liked to finishing up the Cybertruck. It's pretty late at night now. I'm trying to get this video up for you guys to watch tomorrow morning. So we got to go through the whole editing process. I do still have a few small things to do tomorrow morning on this. So the truck's not 100% done. I'd say like 95% done. But let me run you through what I've been doing the entire day. So of course, one of the big things you saw on today's video or in today, I don't know, this has been a long process to say the least, but we got the stainless steel coated with DIY metal coat. Now we'll go through everything that we use to coat the Cybertruck, show you all of that. I'll also leave in the link in the description below a lot of the products that I used, and hopefully some of these can be helpful for your Tesla Cybertruck. So stainless steel got coated. It looks absolutely unbelievable. Thrilled with the results on here. Now, of course, I'm not just gonna gloss over this little spot here. Again, I believe this to be something that has been polished of some sort. I don't know. A little bit of metal polish. Maybe somebody there at the delivery center did that. I believe that would be permanent unless you went through and sanded it. So that's what that spot is. But the rest of the truck looks insane. It looks so even. It looks so smooth. Now, DIY metal coat, I talked about this when I first installed it. It does give the truck a little bit of this warm tone after you do the Barkeeper's Friend and Windex. When you do the Barkeeper's Friend Windex, it becomes absolutely bright silver, but it does get this little bit of orange warm tones in it with the DIY detail. Now I did the coating a little bit different this time. Those of you viewers who have watched me ceramic coat the Tesla Cybertruck will know what I'm talking about. I actually installed it thick. I put it on really, really thick. And I gotta say, from my findings testing it on this one, I think that's really the way to do it. Put it on thick, leave it on for about 5 to 6 minutes, then start wiping. You guys will also notice that I did the entire side of the truck in one go. And I think doing it a little thicker, I think that's really the way to go in this personal case. We also spent a ton of time today ceramic coating all of the black plastic trim. We use G-Technic C4 Permanent Trim Restore, which is not permanent. I say that every time I use it because it's really a 2-year coating, but all of this black plastic trim looks phenomenal. I couldn't be more happy with how that came out. Let me just show you back here. This is quite funny. Do apologize, this very messy workbench. This is behind the license plate cover. So from that to this is how it should look. It'll stay looking like this. We also coated the entire tonneau cover up here, or the vault as Tesla calls it. Looks phenomenal. You guys also saw a quick clip of me actually ceramic coating all of the windows. I used jade amethyst on it. Absolutely pumped with how it came out. Silky smooth glass now, completely water spot free. What a pain in the butt that was. About 6 hours into it. Even areas like the mirrors here, fully ceramic coated. This thing is truly dialed and ready to go. Now, on the interior, I just did a quick, another little vacuum. I also heavily focused on the windows. Windows, perfectly clean now. That's how they should be. Even, of course, the huge, large pane of glass. Now, on the inside, all I did after my big initial clean was went back and used a product by Geon called Interior Detailer. I will tell you, if you guys are more interested on some really intricate how-tos on a lot of this, you can go watch some separate videos on how to do the trim, how to coat the stainless steel, how I recommend cleaning glass, how to clean wheels and coat them, and everything like that. So over here, I just want to run you through these products. One thing that I very much learned on this full Cybertruck detail, which of course is my first one, doing it basically all in one big go, is you have to be kind of smart how you work with it. What I mean by that is I actually coated the glass first. The whole rationale behind that, when you wipe it off, it does have some tendency to kind of streak over the paint. Normally that's not a big issue, but you don't want to get that on the stainless steel. So I was very diligent coating the glass first. Then I coated the stainless steel. Then I coated the trim. The wheels were done all the way, actually a day, 2 days ago now. I don't even know what day it is. It doesn't matter, but let's quickly run through this. So Jade Amethyst over here, this is my new preferred glass coating. It's not a super long-term glass coating, but what I like about it, it actually soaks into the pores. So it's gonna help with water spotting on here. It's also gonna help with that huge piece of glass for rain to just completely fly off of it. Over here, this is DIY metal ceramic coating. That's what is really, truly my favorite ceramic coating for the Tesla Cybertruck stainless steel. Super thrilled, especially with how today went. I mean, this finish, genuinely, one of the cleanest Cybertrucks, probably actually the cleanest Cybertruck I've ever seen. The finish on this looks phenomenal. I was texting with my customer earlier this evening. He was asking me about the door banding. We do still have an ever so slight bit of that. If you don't know what I mean, basically on the doors of the Cybertruck, you get this kind of edge right here on the following edge and leading edge of both doors on both sides that are a little bit darker. And you also have these little fingerprints in here. Every single one has that banding and every single one has these little fingerprints. My thought process behind that is basically what happens if I open this door up. When they go in and weld this in here, it heats up the metal a little bit and starts to discolor it. And it almost seems to me like the same person is standing there grabbing the door in the same exact spot every time, probably with a lot of oil on their hands, and you get these prints. I can absolutely not get them out. If you know someone who can, please leave a comment in the comment section below because I'm very curious. But I have tried and tried and tried pretty much everything. I've used degreasers on here. I've of course used the barkeeper's friend. It doesn't seem to take any of it off. I've also tried using some, normal paint compound and it really stays in there. So moving on. Over here, C4 permanent trim restore. Again, not permanent, 2-year coating on all of the black plastic trim. Looks phenomenal. So all of this gets coated with it. It's now smooth. It's not going to attract dirt. It's a special UV resistant coating that's really going to help that textured black plastic to not only repel dirt, but it's going to keep it looking dark black, not that dull gray. Now this is a new product I've been playing with a little bit, and I actually decided to do this on the wheels and on all of the suspension and on the entire tonneau cover up here. This is a product from Adams that, to be honest, I'm not super into, but I wanted to start playing around with it a little bit more. I've been talking with the guys down at Adams and they're like, this stuff is absolutely incredible. You have to try it. So I thought we're gonna torture test this on the wheels. My customer actually didn't even know we were gonna be pulling the wheels off this. And I just said, you know what, let me do it. It's gonna make a huge difference. He off-roads his truck quite a bit, goes on dirt roads literally on a daily basis. So this will be a great torture test and a little bit of a freebie for him. Next, moving on over here, we have this yellow juice. Now, I can't tell you what this is, but huge shout out to Nate at B&B Blending. This stuff is incredible. What this is a glass cleaner. Now, on new vehicles, glass can be a real pain in the butt because you get a lot of off-gassing. I made an entire video on this one specific topic. Basically, all of the plastics, the leather, the vegan leather in here, when it gets hot outside after the car is produced, it starts off-gassing these chemicals. Where do you think that goes in your interior? Boom to the sunroof, boom to the windshield, all over the side windows. You go to wipe it with glass cleaner, take your car out in the sun and you're like, what the heck? I thought this was clean. There's smudges, streaks all over it. I don't know what kind of crazy concoction the guys over at B&B have made here, but this stuff is amazing. So hopefully more on this soon. I'll let you know as soon as I can what this product actually is, and hopefully you can go purchase it. Next over here, after I did my initial wipe down on the windows, I used my dilute bottle. Now, inside here is CarPro Clarify Window Cleaner with 50% waterless wash. So 1-to-1 ratio on that. It leaves the glass perfectly smooth, perfectly streak free. Now you can use this cleaner on it, but I like the smoothness that the waterless wash gives it in there. Very much helps. Now, lastly, moving into the interior over here, Geon Interior Detailer. This is my favorite finishing detail product and also a great maintenance one. Say you get a little bit of a stain, you don't need a huge deep clean, boom, you're gonna grab that. Very easy to do. Again, have dedicated videos on this. Lastly, over here, a product that I've been playing with as well, ceramic gloss from DIY Detail. Now, what I use this for is intricate areas. So under in here, all of these door jambs, you can use it everywhere in here. Basically what it is, it's a little bit of a ceramic sealant and really helps clean out door jambs, gives that last final touch to it and looks absolutely fantastic. So what do you guys think of the Tesla Cybertruck here? I am absolutely whooped. This was a big project. Now all of them aren't gonna be like this. There was a lot of dirt on this truck. It's been off-roaded pretty much every single day. So I kept cleaning and kept cleaning and kept cleaning. The water spots were a huge mess. Spending 6+ hours on the windows was an absolute nightmare. But I could not be more thrilled with how this Cybertruck came out. If you're interested in getting yours done, have a Tesla Cybertruck in Colorado or want to travel to Colorado like a lot of my customers do, please reach out to me in the comment section below. My info to cleardetailing.com, or you can email me at Coleton@outofspecstudios.com. Get in contact with me. We can talk pricing, all the different options that I have as far as detailing services. These Cybertrucks have really been a pain in the butt, but I truly feel that I've cracked the code on these, and I really stand by this DIY detail metal coating, the Barkeeper's Friend Windex solution. It is really the way to go. Now for aftercare of this, what you're gonna wanna do is wash with a normal pH neutral soap. Don't let water sit there. Do not be afraid to wash your Cybertruck. I think that is one of the biggest issues people are having with the stainless steel on this is they don't know what to use and they're terrified that they're gonna mess something up. What I've actually found, once you start understanding this stainless steel, it's quite forgiving. And I'm almost to the point where I'm gonna say this, and it's quite a bold statement. I'm kind of thinking it's a little bit easier to take care of than paint. A lot of paint can scratch really easy, of course. It can get water spotted really heavily. This stuff seems to be pretty resilient. I mean, you guys saw how this thing came in. We got rust spots all over it. We got huge water stains, just tea staining everywhere, fingerprints, all that disgustingness. And you can go in with the Barkeeper's Friend solution, the Windex, then ceramic coat it. And then for just quick touch-ups, hand wash it, use something like Adam's Waterless Wash, O&R, whatever you deem fit. I would play still around with it a little bit more. I'm still trying to find those products that are like, wow, these are absolutely amazing. I would also like to play around a little bit more with some ceramic boosts maybe that we could put on here to help that initial DIY detail metal coating. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. I know this was a long video. I do apologize for not getting absolutely everything done, but I truly couldn't be more thrilled with how this very, very used and well-loved Cybertruck came out. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one soon. Bye-bye.